Hey guys, so welcome back. We're going to be reading some more of Melody or Soulmate. We're on page 243. We got 8 pages left of this chapter, and then we will be finished with this chapter. There's a lot of things that have been going on today. Today is Monday, July the 12th. This video will be uploaded towards the end of the month or at the beginning of August. My birthday is July the 31st, so I don't know when this video will be uploaded, but it don't really matter. By the time you see this video, you guys will already have an update about the doctor's appointment for Wednesday. You guys will already have seen the baby room, because hopefully I have baby room done before this video is uploaded. So yeah, let's get started. He was also pretty tickled with how Catherine kept sneaking shy glances his way, her cheeks pinkening. If he didn't know any better, he would say his wife had a crush on him. That idea made him smile. After that sweet kiss after she'd shared a perfect Christmas dream with him, life couldn't be much better, especially since her dream had included snuggling on the couch with the person she loved. Could that one day be him? And watching her kids open gifts? Yes, Pearl, as in more than one. Somewhere along the line, she planned on adding to her family, and he hoped he was the one who fathered them. Logan lifted one eyebrow slightly, obviously catching the fact that Zach was pretty much sliding down the slippery slope, straight into love. Zach smiled and shrugged, knowing it would be okay. Catherine wasn't going anywhere, and neither was he. A few days later, she'd been edgy and antsy, but had since let it go, settling in and allowing herself to become even closer to him. Patience was all he needed, just patience, and he felt now that nothing could come between them, get in the way, or cause the fairy tale to not become a reality. In this commitment, he found himself saying, despite knowing Catherine was still trying to get out of it, "We should have the reception." The idea truly had merit. "Why not?" he asked. When she gave him a dark look for switching sides, Ginger and Amy didn't dare speak, but their eyes glimmered hopefully as they watched Catherine complain Zach. It's a ridiculous expense," she said quietly, "and it's not fair for Mary Alice and Liz to pay for it, even if they've pushed it on us." "You could hold it at the pub," Amy said. "Free venue." Mo shot her a quick look, to which she mouthed, "What? Aren't the ladies taking care of things, though?" Zach asked. "There is still time to tweak it so you can be certain the event remains low-key." Amy gave a smile that could have belonged on a shaved fox. "Why not a wine and cheese on a weekday night? That way it won't get out of hand." "They hired Lily to make sandwiches," Ginger said, and trying to convince Mary Alice and Liz to change their plans. "Good luck with that." "Great. So we're doing finger sandwiches and wine and cheese in the pub," Amy replied. "If you say so," Ginger said out of the side of her mouth. "Trust me, I know what to say to Richard to ensure he's got the community center accidentally double-booked. There's no way he'll mess with Mary Alice and her plans." "He will for Nicola. He owes her one for booking my ship during one of her Valentine events." Ginger shrugged. "Worth trying." Zach tipped his head, watching Catherine. He could see she was a little bit tempted by the way she was chewing on her bottom lip. "I know our marriage isn't a traditional one," he said carefully, aware that what he was about to say could blow up in his face. "But why not celebrate it anyway? We've decided we can handle being around each other. Maybe we could get a little photo to put on the mantle to show Xavier he's part of the family." Zach focused on refilling his guest wine glasses, knowing it wasn't fair to play the family for her son card. Maybe it was the wine, maybe it was her kisses that he couldn't seem to stop thinking about. Maybe it was his full stomach and the warm house and sense of contentment. But the fact was, he finally felt as though he was part of something, real life, and he wanted to celebrate it. He wanted to stand on the steps in front of the church and yell out to the town how wonderful Catherine was, just like he heard Oz Ritter had years ago, when he'd been struggling with sobriety and had lost the love of his life. Although maybe wanting to stand on the steps and potentially hallucinate himself, said more about the amount of wine he'd been drinking and less about how full of life he felt. He shook off the thought that he might be jumping into things. Would the ladies organizing be satisfied with something like that? Catherine asked. I wouldn't want to step on their toes or upset them. She was keeping her attention directed towards Xavier, lightly toying with his toes. Some would grumble that it isn't a full feast, Ginger laughed. But it's for you. You should have a say. I think it'll be fun, Amy said, reassuring Catherine. Excellent, Zach said. Consider it decided. When should we do this? Same day as the ladies have booked? Catherine shot him a panicked look, and he said smoothly, It's all good. I'll talk to them. Is a weekend okay, or does it need to be a weeknight? He asked Amy. No problem. I've got it handled, she replied. Will you two sing? She turned to Ginger. These two can sing a duet like you would not believe. They could win a reality show, hands down. Ginger narrowed her eyes at Zach. You're so full of secrets. Secret talents, you mean? Catherine shrugged. We seed our next karaoke night with professionals, Amy said. Not professionals, Catherine pointed out. Just people who make portraits feel inspired to get up there and belt it out. You know a lot about pub events, Mo said. With the baby coming in the next few months, we could use some help organizing things. Nicola Samuels Herber from the town office used to run a few events using the pub as a venue. Since having the twins and shifting to part-time, she hasn't been as involved, and we're noticing the difference. I know you're not interested in helping with the accounting, but maybe you could come in for a few hours each month to help organize some fun. Oh, I don't know, Catherine said. We could really use help brainstorming, if nothing else, Amy said, rubbing circles over her stretched stomach. I can guarantee there's nothing illegal happening on the table at Brew Babies, Zach said quietly, figuring that could be part of why she was feeling gun-shy. Well, there might be kissing, but that's entirely legal, Logan said with a laugh. What if you had a local talent night? You could charge admission. Who would pay admission to hear their neighbor sing? Zach asked. Just trying to come up with ideas, Logan grumbled, leaning back. His phone buzzed and he pulled it out to read a message. I'd pay to hear these two, Amy said, pointing to Zach and Catherine. Maybe a mug and a jam, Catherine suggested. She described the event where local musicians came in to play and people joined in or brought them jugs of beer as thanks for the entertainment. Before long, Amy, Mo, and Catherine were deep into new ideas on how they could bring in more patrons with little effort and little overhead. Logan tipped closer to Zach, saying under his breath so Catherine wouldn't hear. Scott's hoping we can look over some evidence from one of the recent break-ins. They've been more. Logan nodded. Yeah, let's end that spree. Logan texted the officer back. It wasn't uncommon for Zach to reach out to them as contractors. Sorry, you guys. To provide an extra set of eyes on tougher cases. While Scott had finally received a backup officer in town after arresting Spencer Phillips for messing with things over at Brew Babies, thanks to help from Zach and Logan last summer, the new research was fresh out of the academy and didn't have the experience the two of them had. He'd get there, but it would take time. Catherine was laughing, and Amy, her eyes lit up, was saying, You don't think a town like Blueberry Springs could handle some male strippers? No way, Mo said, arms crossed, jaw set. Not in my pub. Just one night, Catherine said, shooting Amy a look that sent the pregnant woman into giggles. It seemed as if Catherine had not only found herself another part-time job, but a new friend, too. The pub was only half yours, Amy told her husband as she placed a hand on her belly. Oh, the baby just kicked. I think that's a vote for the strippers. I think it's kicking the idea to the curb, Mo said, leaning toward to kiss his wife. Cy glanced at Catherine, who was watching them with a wistful expression. Despite what she might sometimes say, he knew that she was looking for the kind of thing Amy and Mo had, and so was he.